Good morning. Boy, Jan and I were in the mountains yesterday up at Snoqualmie Pass. It's like 70, 75 degrees. Oh my word, it was lovely. In the shade, you just want to get back in the sun. But we're up there and this band is playing. I mean a really good rock and roll band. And you can see the jagged mountains, and I mean almost nobody was there paying attention to them. It was absolutely fabulous. The only thing that would have been better if John Denver had been playing and been watching that.
Maybe he was there.
Maybe he was. Maybe he was. So, ooh, this was good. It's the ultimate comfort food. Warm, soft, sweet, homey. As it turns 79 this year, in 1938, the owner of the Toll House restaurant in Whitman, Massachusetts added cut up bits of chocolate to the cookie she served with ice cream. A year later, she sold the rights to her cookie recipe and the Toll House name to Nestle for $1. The cookie popularity was boosted by hard times of the Great Depression, World War II. Now it's ingrained in America. Interesting, huh? I love stuff like that. Fascinating stuff. And we do have a couple patron saints by the name of John Lennon and George Carlton. Yeah, I just had them reverse, that's all. It's okay, I knew what I was saying. I just said it anyway. So, and John said, what did he say? Oh, imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger, a brotherhood of man. Be a good song. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. It's a great song. And George, whatever his name is, George, boxing. I just dropped. Realize that. I know what I did last week. Where is it? There it is. Bowling is not a sport because you have to rent shoes. Stay right there so I know where I am. Mary Ann has a Qigong class on Wednesday night at 6:30, so it's going to be starting this week, Jan? Qigong, Wednesday? Is that? Yeah, but it doesn't say when. It just says when, this Wednesday. Okay, 6:30. Beth will be assisting. Why should you be interested in Qigong? Well, the short answer is Dr. Oz says if you want to live healthy and live to be 100, go do that. Class will include some Qigong history, philosophy, gentle exercises, guided meditation, and a 6-word chant. Cost is $25, and Mary Ann and Beth hope to see you all there Wednesday night. That'd be fun. Qigong is cool. So, and July 17th, Janice is doing a shaman's journey. She does this once a year. And she's doing it this time on a palindrome date, which is 7/17/17. Palindrome is something that's the same front and reverse. So, reads it. Palindrome energy allows us to see things from a different perspective more easily. Janice will lead us through several meditative processes in order to assist you in achieving the shaman's journey experience of being aware of everything and aware of yourself at the same time. This awareness expands the experience is often attained by only great gurus and spiritually advanced teachers. You can have this experience in a safe and beautiful way. So. And followers of the way, first Thursday of the month, 6:30, right here. Before religion got hold of Jesus' teaching, the ones who followed Jesus were first called followers of the way. The class leads you through a Bible overview like no other. Learn who you are spiritually, learn the real message of Jesus and other Bible figures. Explore spiritual insights revealed through the eyes of light. Follow the journey to your own spiritual connectedness and reclaim your spiritual innocence. So, cool class. Fun stuff. Okay. Wit has truth in it. Wisecracking is simply calisthenics with words. That means I am really, really physically fit. In every work of genius, we recognize our own rejected thoughts. They come back to us with a certain alienated mystery. Slate was in wide use as a writing material as early as the 14th century. It became standard equipment for all occasions on which temporary notices were displayed. Among others, political leaders found it very useful. Groups of party officials conferring with their list of nominees would place a large slate before the House. Names were listed, erased, and substituted until general agreement was reached. Maybe they should do that now. Oh, sorry. Current in the United States, as late as 1800, this use of the black writing surface caused any list of candidates to be called a slate. So, slate of candidates. Lots of people running for office locally, too. That's cool. Okay, anybody that knows the answers to each one of these little quips here, go ahead and shout it out. Let's see how smart you are. A group of flamingos is called a pat. A group of frogs is called army. A group of rhinoceros is called a crash. A group of kangaroos is called a mob. A group of apes is called a shrewdness. A group of cats is called chaos. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. A group of cats is called a clutter. A group of larks is called an exaltation. A group of owls is called a parliament. And a group of ravens is called a murder. Oh, see, everybody, why does everybody know that one?
A pack of pugs is called a grumble.
A pack of pugs?
Yes.
Really?
A pack of pugs is called a grumble.
Okay. I like pugs. Pugs are cool. Oh, kid theology. Dear God, please put another holiday between Christmas and Easter. There's nothing good in there now. Dear God, thank you for baby brother, but what I asked for was a puppy. I never asked for anything before. You can look it up. Dear God, I wish you would not make it so easy for people to come apart. I have to have 3 stitches and a shot. Dear God, I read the Bible. What does beget means? Nobody will tell me. And dear God, how did you know you were God? Who told you? Smart kid. The minister was preoccupied with thoughts of how he was going to ask the congregation to come up. This obviously was done in Canada. This joke is from Canada. Has to be. The minister was preoccupied with thoughts of how he was going to ask the congregation to come up with more money than they were expecting for repairs to the church building. Therefore, he was annoyed to find that the regular organist was sick and substitute had to be brought in at the last minute. The substitute wanted to know what to play. Here's a copy of the service, he said impatiently, but you'll have to think of something to play after I make the announcement about the finances. During the service, the minister paused and said, Brothers and sisters, we are in great difficulty. The roof repairs are going to cost twice as much as we expected, and we need $4,000 more. Any of you who can pledge $100 or more, please stand up. At that moment, the substitute organist played O Canada. And that is how the substitute became the regular organist. Any of you ever listen to the words of O Canada? And listen? That's a cool song. That's a cool song. I like it. Our brethren from the north, good job. I know the song is Eric Clapton. Who said that? How'd you know? She knows.
Can change the world. That's what we're here for, right?
Right.
One person at a time. There we go. Good morning. How are you? I'd have found it. Thank you for that. Oh, goodness. So, I want to chat with you today about change. And change is hard. Unless, of course, it's not. I think sometimes it's hard because we haven't changed our heart. We changed our mind. If you've ever been on a diet and it didn't work, if you ever started a new exercise program, it didn't work, because we think we got it, we're going to do that, and then that doesn't really happen because we haven't really changed, because we're somewhere else. That part of us that is the actuator, the part of us that creates the change, has to be on board, and that's from our heart space. And we think it all comes from our mind. We make a decision. Well, the decision of the mind is part of it. There's also a decision of the heart. The heart has a huge role to play in that. When the heart's on board, then the subconscious gets on board. And when the subconscious gets on board, then things are a whole lot easier for us. But the problem is getting to the heart space. Because logic doesn't work. I should be on a diet because, or I should exercise because, heart doesn't care. The heart's going to wait until emotionally we're invested. Emotionally we're in alignment with that. And it becomes this huge motivation. And then it's like, oh yeah, okay. And then the brain can serve up a way to make it happen. So they go together, they work together. But unfortunately, we try to do it all from the head. I'll make myself do that and use my willpower. I tell you, they've done huge studies on willpower. And willpower is really limited. They have found that if they put people through a little test and challenge your thinking for a while, you have to make yes, no decisions in this little test. Then when you're done with that, then they have refreshments and people eat cookies. But if a person doesn't have the test and they're put into a room where cookies are, they leave them alone. When we exercise our will, it goes away. It's limited. We use it up. And then we're left with whatever the base program is. And if the base program is, I'm just going to, I like cookies, I'm going to have a cookie, then that's what you can fall back on. Because the willpower has been used. It's used up. It's really limited. So when we move out of willpower and move into the choice of heart, where your heart is saying, oh gosh, I'm so excited about feeling fit and strong and healthy, I'm just real excited about that, then it's like, I don't need a cookie. Because your inner programming is different. So along with that, we have this internal mechanism by which we have a ring true or not true. Okay? So this ring true thing, if I were to tell you that this microphone is pink, you go, no, it's not. Or you might not have any response at all because you don't really care. Could be pink, you don't like it, doesn't matter. It doesn't have any effect in your world. But if I were to tell you a truth that had importance to you, there's an internal mechanism called a ring true that would register whether it was true or not true. Now with that said, our not true is probably quicker picker upper than our ring true. We call it a BS-o-meter. Has somebody ever, you talk to somebody and all of a sudden your BS-o-meter pegs? Yeah, okay, you know that. But we don't pay attention when our BS-o-meter is going, oh, that's true, I got that, unless you get goosebumps. Ever had goosebumps? Oh, yeah, that's a part of it. Okay, that's the extreme of, yeah. So we've got the BS-o-meter pegged when somebody tells us it's not true. And it could ring in a different place in your body than somebody else. you're not okay maybe in your heart space, your gut, maybe it's in your left toe, I don't know. But wherever it is for you, it's important to know where your not okay is, because that's a real important aspect of guidance towards your spiritual path. We want God or divine source, spirit, to guide us, and yet if we don't pay attention, how can we be guided? So it's really important to have this guidance system online. And sometimes it's not only not online, or if it is online, it's calibrated incorrectly. Or it's calibrated to oblivious. You know, oh, I'm just oblivious, I don't know. You know, God could be giving you all kinds of signs and information, and, you know, we don't get it. We're not tuned in. We're oblivious. Have you ever noticed that, let me see if I can say this differently than I was going to. After I left my first marriage, first few people I dated were just like him. Anybody experience that? Because my BS meter was calibrated to that was normal. So it's important to be able to recalibrate your BS meter so it can register, oh, that's BS. But if it should be pegged here, but you've shifted that down and now it's normal, it feels safe and comfortable to be around that, then you can't perceive any new information, or you can't process guidance that's coming your way because it doesn't register on your scale. So it's important to recalibrate that. Well, how do we recalibrate that? We look at happy. We all want to be happy, don't we? Okay, so we sometimes misjudge or misinterpret being distracted as being happy, or being needed as being happy, or being used as being happy because it's familiar. But happy is different. We had a guy come in and do classes years ago, and he asked us to do premeditated happy. What's a premeditated happy? Where you choose to do something that makes you happy. And when you choose to do something that makes you happy and you register, oh, that's happy, then you apply massive amounts of gratitude. And the universe goes, yes, she got it. Hallelujah. Let's give her more. Because otherwise we're focused on what we're comfortable with, what's familiar to us. Oh, she's focused on that. Let's give her more. Not to punish, not to hurt, but it's because that's where our registration is pointed. We got this giant arrow is going, I want more of that because that's what I'm focused on. If you ever notice the people on Facebook, we all know them. Those guys. And everything they post is negative. And you go, oh, they're posting again. Must be something negative. Sure enough, some terrible, horrible things happen to them. Again. Because where are they focused? They're focused on pain. They're focused on what doesn't make them happy. I hate that. And there it is again. Their BS meter is calibrated to unhappy. Take it apart, look at it, and recalibrate it to happy. Then when happy is way over here, pointing to this is where I want to be, then when it's not happy, your BS meter will go, oh, that's not okay. And we go, oh, I'm going to back off from that because that's not okay. I got a sign. Who knew? So premeditated happy. What makes you happy? Do that. Do it intentionally. And then as you're doing it, go, this is the coolest thing ever. And then when you're done going, that was the coolest thing ever. I loved that. And the universe goes, oh, she loved that. Let's give her more. Do you want more of the good stuff? Think more of the good stuff. Do more of the good stuff. What makes you happy? Now here's happy. Happy is a challenge because sometimes we think going out partying, getting ourselves totally wasted is happy. No! That's a mischarted BS meter. Maybe we felt happy at the time and then you got a headache. Ooh, missed that appointment at work. Don't have a job anymore. I'm all of a sudden not happy. So recalibrate happy. What makes you happy? Really happy, not distracted. Because you've been distracted. Have you ever been distracted? And it's neutral perhaps, or even better than miserable. So it's a step in the right direction to be oblivious. There's so much more to it than that. You get to experience so much more to it than being oblivious. We get to be happy, and happy is this quality. Happy, joy, let's get them a little, they're slightly different. Happy often comes when we're experiencing something external from ourselves and go, oh, fun. Joy is this resident energy that resonates within us day and night. To get to joy, happy is a good doorway. But again, happy is like willpower, it's non-sustaining. Okay, I did that happy thing, now I gotta do more happy thing, or I'm not happy. Joy is this energy that whether things are terrible or not, you're still happy, you're still joyful. You still have this wonderful energy of I'm all okay. Because your BS meter is set to okay is great, okay is right where I need to be. And it's not okay, then I get a peg of not okay. So if you can shift that and move into this place where you find joy that sits and resonates with you all the time. And happy is a wonderful doorway for that. Happy is a wonderful doorway for that. And gratitude, heaping gratitude on top of that. Make sense? So finding something that you feel happy as you're doing, well, I don't know what that is. It's Baskin-Robbins, try. I'll taste that and I'll taste this. You know, I didn't know I liked to paint until I painted. Who knew? It's fun. Often we have to go back to when we were a little kid. What did you do when you were a little kid that was fun, that you liked? We're so busy doing what we think everybody else expects of us, and our meter is all set to what's expected of us, or what we should do. We don't know what we like. We don't know where we're at. It's really important to really take a good look at that. Where are we? What brings that joyful experience to you? Because when you find that joyful experience, then you can amplify that and you can recall that at any time, and that feeds the joy. And then the joy is fed by gratitude, and the universe can then bring you more. And the joy amplifies and builds upon itself. Now, how do we do that? It's what we say to ourselves in our head and our heart. You know, I was in a class the other day and somebody said, well, just say I'm happy. Make that an affirmation. Oh, I felt the bull SM meter go off. Because she wasn't there yet. But what if, instead of saying, I am happy, and, you know, depends on what you say to yourself. If that's not your truth, your BS meter is gonna peg, and it doesn't matter how many times you say that affirmation, it's not gonna work. Have you ever tried affirmations that don't work? It's because the underlying belief system hasn't caught up with it yet. It's never gonna work. Well, you just have to have positive thought. No, positive thought comes and assists when you've got this underlying program rewritten. If you feel unworthy, it doesn't matter how many times somebody else tells you you're worthy, or however many times somebody else tells you you do a good job, or I really appreciate that, or you're a nice person. It doesn't matter. Are you ever going to believe it? No, not until you recalibrate your BS meter. Not until you can get to this underlying place where you know the truth of it. You know the truth shall set you free. Good book says that, right? But we are so convinced of our own lack and of our own unhappiness that it's really hard to find the truth of it. It's really hard to recalibrate that. It's really easy, but we think it's hard because we're not there. So back to finding what brings you joy. What brings joy into your life, and amplify that. Because then this system gets picked up. So, have you ever done something really nice for somebody? And all of a sudden, all of your cares and worries and stuff goes away? Exactly. Exactly. So in that moment, your BS meter has shifted to it's all okay. And you feel worthy. If somebody gives you a compliment, you go, oh, thank you. It feels right. Until we get back to thinking, well, you know, and then the old program feeds back in. So how do you get to underneath that? And how do we reprogram that programming? Good book says, oh, let me read this one too. But the path of the righteous is like the light of dawn that shines brighter and brighter until the full day. And the way of the wicked is like darkness. They do not know over what they stumble. It gets brighter and brighter. So every day it gets brighter and brighter, like at the dawning of a day. And you go, oh, I see. But you can't all of a sudden wake up after feeling miserable and worthless and go, I feel happy, I feel worthy, I feel wonderful. Well, you can say that to yourself, and the feeling inside is BS. Right? Have you ever tried that? I've tried that. Oh, let me just say it more. It doesn't work. So the reprogramming is what we're about, and the reprogramming comes from what we think and what we do, and how we judge what we think and what we do. Proverbs 23:7, for a man thinks in himself, so is he. If you think you're not good enough, you're going to not be good enough, ever, no matter what you do. No matter how much people try to tell you, hey, that was a good job. No, that was crap. Because the internal programming has proved to you the truth of it, right? Because guess what? You're going to mess up. Oh my gosh, I messed up. It's horrible. It's terrible. Because that's your truth. And BS is I'm good. But if you can disassemble that and reassemble it in a new way, then you can support yourself in a new way. So then if you make a mistake and go, oh, I'm terrible. Oh, that's BS. I'm really a good person. I just screwed up. It gets reversed. It gets switched. So you can calibrate it at oblivious. Everything's going, whatever. Oblivious, I don't know. I don't know if I'm good, don't know if I'm bad, don't know if anything, I'm just neutral. I'm out of here, oblivious. Or it can be switched to that which is good is not, and that which is not is good. You get it all reversed. Or we can go back and reprogram all of that. And you reprogram all of that with divine assistance. Who knew, right? Who knew? And the divine assistance comes with doing the right things for the right motivation and allowing that divine energy to reset you. Let me read this one to you. Blessed be the Lord, Psalms 28. Blessed be the Lord because he has heard the voice of my supplication. How many people don't feel heard when you talk to Spirit? BS! Your BS meter is backwards. Just because you can't hear or don't feel heard doesn't mean you're not being heard. Your BS meter is broken. Okay? Fix it. We can fix that. Hang in there. This is not about shame. It's about look at that. You get to look at that. All right? If you feel that, then that's your reality from this moment forever. Unless you change it. Unless you change it. And we get to change that. So, he's heard. It doesn't feel right. That feels like BS. No, being unheard is BS. Let's shift that. And we shift that by becoming aware of a different way of being. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him and I'm helped. Can't do that. That doesn't feel right to me. I'm not going to trust that God thing. No way. So I've always been let down in the past. Have you really? Have we let ourselves down and blame God for it? Or trust another person and blame God for it? Trusted luck, blame God for it. Made a bad decision, blame God for it. See what I'm saying? My heart trusts in him and I'm helped. Your heart, not your brain, your heart. This is the power tool here. Your spiritual power tool is right here in your heart space. Your brain is a worthy servant, not your master. Because your brain is going to say, I should do this, I should do that, nobody likes me, it's not good, I'm not happy, everything's miserable, blah, 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 right? It's your brain telling you. Heart space. And your brain takes its information from past experiences. So if you can look in a new perspective at past experiences, that reprograms the heart. And when we reprogram the heart with a new perspective, that reprograms our BS meter to fit correctly. Therefore, my heart exults. Yay! If you don't feel yay, your BS meter is broken. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. Your BS meter is broken. There's nothing wrong with your friends. Your BS meter is broken. Okay? And with my song, I shall thank him. Gratitude, appreciation, those are power tools. The Lord is their strength, and he is a saving defense to his anointed. Save thy people and bless thine inheritance. Be their shepherd also, and carry them forever. Remember those little pictures? I don't know, maybe you didn't see them when you were younger, but in my mom's big old Bible, there was a picture of Jesus, and he was carrying a little lamb. I love that picture, just love that picture. Because I felt like the little lamb. You know, get tired, can't do it, and you know, I can't run with the big guys all the time. But you have somebody who will carry you. We think we've got to carry it ourselves. That's normal. We think that's normal. Yes. You don't have to do it on your own. If we think we have to do it on our own, that's when we cut ourselves off and we reset our BS meter to oblivious. And when the little encouragements come along, or the little information comes along, or the guidance comes along, we miss it. We miss it. So we want to get back to the heart space and reprogram that. And the only way to do that is to choose something new from your heart. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Okay, the Bible is politically incorrect. Let me translate that for you. As one, as a human, as a person thinks in their heart, so are they. So let your heart have a new thought. So instead of, I can't figure that out, I'm learning how to figure that out. Cut yourself some slack. I have to be perfect or I'm not good enough. BS. I get to be a human being. I get to learn. And you learn by doing, so do something that brings you joy and go, oh yay, that's wonderful. Because that creative energy is resetting recalibrating your BS meter. Being into that space of creativity and joyfulness and happiness resets that. And then you apply massive amounts of gratitude and appreciation, and you get more of that. And when you can see where there's joy, there's divine nature. Then you go, oh, you can see the hand of God in everything. True? Now, speaking to ourselves is the hardest part, because we've programmed ourselves to speak harshly to ourselves, have we not? When you wake up in the morning and your first thought is negative, guess how your day is going to be? I like to have affirmations by the bed. Positive thoughts, positive statements by the bed. Because that's the first programming I get for the day. And when your positive thought hits it doesn't feel right, then I have to look at another one. Remember the tapping blessing that we did? I bless my body, I bless my family, I bless whatever. Make sense? I can't remember it offhand. You guys know it for sure. I bless who I am and how I feel right now. Start with that. I bless who I am and how I feel right now. Just tap right above your eyebrow. I bless who I am and how I feel right now. And what's lovely about that is you can feel like crap. And it's okay. That's reprogramming your BS meter. Go, oh, I don't have to be perfect. Because as soon as we let go of having to be perfect, then we allow ourselves to just be. Just be, I am. What was the second one? I bless my family and how they love me. I think I tweaked the words a little bit. I bless my family and how they love me. So what if your family's mean to you? You know, I bless them anyway. I bless my incredible healing body. Does that mean my body is perfect? Does that mean that I'm not sick? Does it mean I don't have any, hangnail? I don't feel, it's okay to have a headache. It's okay to feel bad. It's okay to stub your toe. And it's okay to have an owie. It's okay. Your body is an incredible healing machine. Remember, as a kid, skinned your knee, be all crusted up, nutty, and then a day or two later, be fine. Your body is this incredible healing machine. And as we bless that, it can heal faster, better. I bless my friends and wish them love and prosperity. I don't have any friends. Keep blessing. If you don't have any friends, it means that the ones that you did have are not suitable for you anymore and new are coming. So bless them anyway. Just keep the blessing going. I bless the abundance I already have. I bless my home and how I live. Now this one, I changed this one. I bless my career, the people I serve, and my associates. You can say whatever you want. Bless my job, bless my whatever. You can do whatever you want to do on that one. This one's fun. I bless my mind, my memory, and my insights that lead to wisdom. I bless and am blessed. Now how do you feel? I have that all written out somewhere. Maybe on the back table, I don't know. 2 minutes, maybe? Are you worth a couple of minutes here and there? Yeah? Mm-hmm. Oh, but yes, I'm not worth it. Rake that, throw it away. But our perceptions are all screwed up sometimes, are they not? So let's shift how we think. And just because we think it to be doesn't make it true. Doesn't make it true. I'll never be loved. If life has proven that to you, that's your sign that your BS-o-meter is messed up and you've been left. That's what that means. That doesn't mean you're broken. Your coping mechanism is broken. You're not broken. You're delightful just the way you are. That's imperative for us to recognize, because when we get that, Everything else will fall into place. But I don't know what to say. I don't know how to tell myself. Do you remember this book, Louise Hay? This is really, I like this book. Really fun. In the back, she has all these health things where when you have an issue, health issue, she tells you what might be energetically going on, and then she gives you an affirmation. You don't even have to make this up. You can have help. Ask for help, and it shall be given. Ask, and you shall receive. So here's one for the brain. I'm the loving operator of my mind. Say that one out loud. I'm the loving operator of my own mind. Can't fix anybody else's. Loving operator. That means stop telling yourself, right? Get to that in just a second. Give you another one. Nerves. Anybody have nerves? You're getting on my nerves, Janice. I communicate with ease and with joy. How fun is that one? How about anybody have a neck, stiff neck? I am peaceful with life. If your BS meter pegged, then there's something unpeaceful that you're feeling about life. You might want to take a look at that. What brought that sense of feeling without peace or out of peace? When you can find what you're looking at, now look at it with new eyes of love and appreciation. Whatever happens is not happening to you, but it's happening as a benefit. It's a blessing. But that really hurt. I know. Ever had a tooth extracted? Hurts really, really bad, but you really need to get rid of all of that and all the gunk and stuff. Or an appendix. There are things that must be removed from us, and sometimes they're uncomfortable. Have you ever had a terrible breakup with a friend or loved one or something, and then, oh my God, once that's all over and you've dealt with the sorrow and the trauma and the grieving, you go, I'm kind of glad that's over. Because there's this other friend that comes in that's better. And so it's like, I'm really kind of glad that kind of had an ending. And sometimes those things have to have painful endings, otherwise we won't let them go. We hang on to suffering because you're familiar with it. So I'm asking to shift. About nausea. I don't think anybody's sick at their stomach right now, so you don't have to say this unless you just want to. But the affirmation for this, I'm safe. I trust the process of life to bring only good to me. That would be a lovely one to say no matter what. Maybe you don't feel like trusting. Look back at what created that mistrust and recognize that you're a different person now. Whatever happened back then happened to bring you a new level of awareness. Now you're aware, and you can be aware on a different level without the pain and without the suffering and without the sorrow. And that new level of awareness can bring gratitude. Oh, I'm really grateful that happened. Because have you ever had a best worst thing? Oh man, we hate it when it's happening. And then afterwards, oh man, that was the best worst thing ever happened to me. Because we learned, or we got some really value out of it. And if that's the top of our BS-meter, of everything is really valuable and happening for my good, then we don't get so caught up in the sorrow and the pain. And we can trust. This is where trust is. And if our BS-meter's pegged on that, then we get to look at that and bring new awareness into that. And bless the old. Bless it, because it's brought you to where you are. You're a survivor. Sometimes the things that we do to survive, our survival mechanisms, our coping mechanisms, our survival behaviors, just are there to get us through something. That's not to keep us or sustain us. And if we can look and recognize that those are the things that are broken, not me. You're not broken. Your coping mechanism is broken. That's the broken thing. And just let that go. Shift it. Bring it into a new awareness with an affirmation or a blessing or a kindness to yourself. Make sense? I saw a couple of questions. I'll get back to you here in a minute. First of all, Mr. Phil, would you join me up front? I want you to sit with that.